And it's time. Greetings. Howdy, everybody. Good evening, people. Yes, Ryan, you are seeing the levels in the top corner. That is by design. It's a feature that I discovered and turned on. We're using the new Pearl Mini today. That is streaming for the first time. So you guys got to let me know if you see any difference at all in the quality of the stream. For those of you who are used to watching live, I want to know. I want to know. Tell me if you see any differences at all. This is the much smaller, much more affordable hardware from Epiphan. And I will be using this for the next several shows. It may become permanent. I don't really know yet, but I will be using it today. Well, it is being used today. And then on Friday, the show that I'll be doing then, I'll actually be using it to do some switching because we're going to do another show where I'm in my office and we're using that computer, so it's routing through. So it's a whole other thing. Should be kind of fun. Should be kind of fun. Greetings, everybody. Mr. John Roberts and APN TV and Butch Miller and Tony Hill and Jake Uptill. Everybody here this morning. Very good. Excellent. Hey, Andy Nichols over at APN TV. I hope you're recording right now. So he's been trying to get me to provide a question for his Q&A show, which I said I would do this morning on the live show in the pre-show. He's just got to be ready for it. So Andy, here you go. Here's your question. Let's get rid of that countdown clock. Oh, I guess it's already gone. And let's get this thing going. So Andy, you did a show a while back where you talked about using the vMix, which is an incredible app for doing titling, and the Blackmagic ATEM, which of course I use myself. And in the video, you talk about using this little USB device, little video. I'm not even sure what it is. It's just you've got a video storage USB on there, and somehow you're routing your video into the ATEM. You said it's a little finicky, a little odd, but it works. And I want to know more about it because that could be very useful and a very good, affordable way for me to get pre-roll, pre-recorded video into the show. So please tell me more. All right, well, there you go. Andy, hopefully that's good. Hopefully that's the question that you needed. Let's close that window out so I don't open it at the wrong time. And we are otherwise all ready to go. You guys ready for a show today? Everybody feeling good? We're recording, we're running, we got viewers, we got guests, we got a quorum, I think, and it's time. Is it time? It is time. Let's have a show, shall we? And Bern says it's raining. Dude, Bern, I wish it was rainy here. I can actually breathe today, which is a change, but it was bad, man. It's been getting bad. The smoke around here has been getting bad. Okay, let's have a show. On today's show, we're going to be talking about the Aputure Amaran light, which is, right, I've been using it to light my background, but now we're going to talk about it. Good morning and welcome to PhotoJoseph's Photo Moment, the first live 3 times a week show here at youtube.com/PhotoJoseph/live. If you're watching it live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 9:30 a.m. Pacific, talking live about photography, video, live streaming, and all kinds of fun related topics. We do this show regularly live. If you can participate live, it's fantastic because then you get to be part of the chat here. I can bring you up. We can have a conversation. After every main show, we go a secondary show. We do a Q&A where you can ask anything you want about the topic at hand or anything else you'd like, and we try to get all of your questions answered. So if you don't usually get to tune in live, please try to. It's kind of fun. 9:30 a.m. Pacific time, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. This is what we do here. So today we're talking about a light from a company called Aputure, not Aperture, but Aputure, A-P-U-T-U-R-E, called the Amaran light. And this came up because a little while ago I did a kind of review, discussion, talk about a smaller light from Aputure. This little tiny guy here, which is, what is it, the ALM9. Somebody on the show had pointed this out to me. It's a great little tiny pocket-sized, battery-powered, rechargeable via USB light. It's a neat little light. Really liked it. Really was impressed with this thing. And I bought this myself. This wasn't given to me. I wasn't paid to do anything about it. I just really liked it. And the company, the folks at Aputure saw that video and they said, hey, we kind of like that. Do you want to take a look at another one of our lights? And I thought, well, sure, why not? So they have sent this light out to me, to do a discussion on, to show you what it can do. And I got to say, I'm actually pretty impressed with this thing. It's got a lot of pluses, a couple of things we'll talk about that maybe could be a little bit better, but overall I think it's pretty darn cool, pretty darn good. And the first thing I want to do is talk about what came in the box, because this absolutely impressed the heck out of me. So I get this thing in the box. It comes in a bag like this, and I start opening it up. And honestly, the first time I used it, I took it with me on a trip. I hadn't even taken it out of here yet, and so I'm in the hotel opening this up going, oh, it's got this, and it's got that, and it's got this and that, and it was pretty cool. So let me just get this thing off of here. I'm going to unplug it so it can operate off of the mains, obviously, right? So you can plug that into the wall. I've got a red gel on here because that's how I'm illuminating my background there. But what really impressed me, really surprised me, is everything you're seeing in my hands right now, well, minus the red gel, let's go ahead and get rid of that, came with it. So it came with, so here's the light itself. We'll kind of focus on that in a moment here. But it came with a light stand, bendy head thing. What do you call these things? Light stand holder. It's like an umbrella holder, but anyway, it came with this. So it came with this guy, which is great. It came with the light stand post, which is awesome. So this can screw into the light itself, and then you can put this on a light stand or on a tripod head or whatever, and mount your light wherever you want. So it came with all this, which, that's nice, right? It doesn't have to. A lot of times you buy a light or any accessory that's meant to be mounted on something, and you get it and you go, oh, well, now I have to buy the bracket, and I have to buy the post, and I have to buy all these other pieces, but it came with it. Nice. This isn't like the best quality one of these in the world that I've ever seen, but it works, and this isn't exactly heavy, so there you go. So it comes with that. It comes with 2 different filters. Now the light itself, I will say, can come as a daylight balanced light, which is what I've got here, or you can get it bi-colored. Now when you get a bi-colored light, every other LED is a different color temperature. So you've got daylight, and then you've got tungsten, I guess it would be balanced light, I think that's right, orange light. And when you put the light on full daylight, only half the LEDs are lit up, so you only get half of the output. You put it on full tungsten, and only half of the lights are on. You get half output. When you put it in the middle, so your color temperature would be somewhere around probably 3,500, 4,000, somewhere around there. That's when you get maximum output, but it's no longer daylight balanced. So I prefer to work with daylight balanced lights. So I got the full daylight one, and then it comes with these gels. So you've got a simple diffuser panel, so that's just gonna, kind of diffuse the light a little bit. You probably want to use that unless you're bouncing it through another diffusion panel. Or if you want to have that daylight temperature, well, tungsten temperature, here you go. You got a CTO orange on here, you pop this guy in, and now we've got nice, warm orange light. So if that's what you want to do, there you go. So it comes with that. So I would highly recommend getting the daylight one only. Also, when you buy it, you do have some other options. Let's take a look over here on the B&H page. So this is the model. It's the Aputure Amaran HR672S. That's the one that I'm using. That's the daylight one. It comes with a couple of different spot degrees. So this is the more focused one, the 25 degree. I forget what the angle is of the other one. It's a much wider view, much wider field. Highly recommend going with a focus beam. You can always diffuse your light. It's a lot harder to refocus it. So if you want a softer light, put it in front of put a diffuser panel in front of it. Yeah, you'll lose some of the output, but you're going to get a good soft diffusion that way. I think going for the spot is definitely the way to go. So the price on this thing, $278. It's not the cheapest, but definitely not the most expensive when it comes to LED panels. You can see on here, you've got some specs on here, the size and weight and all that good stuff. So you can poke through here if you want to see the things, 18,000 lux brightness, 45 maximum, 45 watt power draw, and so on and so on. So, all the info that you need is in there. So if you want to look at the specs, go poke around in there. I'm not going to go through the specs with you. I want to talk about the light itself. So I take this thing out of the bag. You've got the light. You've got the couple of gels. Cool, excellent. Find out that I've got the stand and the post. Super. That's really nice. It comes with a little remote control. We'll talk about this in a moment. But you have a little remote control to control this light. Didn't need that. To control this light. And then this blew me away. It comes with not one, but 2 big, fat Sony-type batteries. Wow. Usually you buy, I've bought $1,000 products that take batteries that don't come with batteries. For a sub $300 light to come with 2 of these things, that's pretty cool. So how big are these? These are, have a capacity 53.28 watt hours. Anyway, they're big. Nice, big, fat batteries. In fact, if you want to know how long these last, our friends over at APN TV did a review. We're going to link to this down below. But they did a battery test on this. I'm not going to give it away. I'm not going to tell you how long they last. I'll let you watch his video to see that. But he did a full battery test on it to see just how long they would last. And it's impressive. You will be very pleasantly surprised at how much battery life you get out of these. So it came with the batteries. Super, super surprising. Super happy. It also comes with little extra fuses. So if you blow a fuse on this thing, you got a little extras in there, so that's nice. And all this comes in a nice little bag, nice little compact bag. Now, one of the cool things about the shape of this, you can see how low profile it is. Other than the dimming knob on here, it's very thin and flat. So you could easily take 2 of these and sandwich them back to back and have that knob be the only separator, and then put a bunch of these in a case. So you could have quite a lot of these in a relatively small space. And it's not just about the size, it's also about the weight. This is really, really light. And this is where I'm going to say it'd be my first, I'm not sure if I'm really thrilled about that. I love that it's so lightweight, but because it's plastic, you can hear it, it feels cheap. Now, it isn't a cheap quality light, and I haven't had any issues with it. I haven't, beat the hell out of this thing yet, but I haven't had any issues with it. But I do kind of feel like I wish it was made out of metal. I'm sure that would increase the cost of it. It would certainly increase the weight. I'm sure this is by design. And let's be honest, modern plastics are really, really strong. They just have that kind of cheaper feel to it. So once you get past that, I think it's just fine. So let's take a look at the back of this thing. Let's go for a little overhead view here. You can see what this thing's got. So these are the 2 battery slots. So these guys will just slide into there. So let's go ahead and put 1 in and put 2 in. And it immediately comes on because I already had the power switch on. You have a dimmer on here. So this little dimmer dial will take you from 99, or that's your maximum, down to 10. Now this is curious because if you look at the website, it says on here that it goes full 0 to 100% dimming. Now this is the B&H page, not their website, so it's possible that that's incorrect. But there's a disconnect here. So that says 0 to 100. What it actually does, the unit itself does 10 to 99. I mean, 99 is, call that 100, but it doesn't go all the way down to 0. So again, don't know if there's a disconnect here or what, but that's where it goes. The other thing you have on the back of this is a couple of buttons to change your channel and your grouping. Oh, by the way, you also have a battery readout right here. So that's the little battery reader. Channel and grouping on here. This allows you to cycle through, and I realize it's kind of hard. In fact, let's do this. Let me go to a close-up view here. See, I think that'll allow you to see it. Yeah, there you go. As I go through the channels here, it allows me to choose a channel and choose a group for the light. That is for the remote control. Okay, I'm going to turn this, well, I guess down. That is for the remote control. We figure out where to put this so you can see that it's changing but not blinding you. Maybe I'll do this. I'm going to take this diffusion panel, pop that in there. That didn't help very much. Let's put the red one on top of it. There we go. Now we're diffusing it. Okay. So you can choose the channel and the group for this little remote control. So let's take a look at the remote control in here. Nice little handy remote control. This allows you to, first of all, you can choose your channel that you want to control. So as I push this, you can see up here these tiny little lights. They just flash. So there's channel 3, channel 1, channel 2, channel 3. So we're on channel 1, I think. Is that where I stayed? And then this is the power button. So did I leave this on 1A? I think I did. If I push that, it is, no, I didn't leave it on 1A. Let's see here. Let's put this back. Let's put this back. Let's go for the overhead view here, and we're going to go for 1A. So now that's on 1A. There we go. Let's take the intensity down on that a little bit and go back into the close-up here. So now I have a power button for 1A. So I hit that. I don't know if you're going to be able to see in here or not. Let's get that into place. I don't know why I'm showing this like you really don't believe me. That there you go, look, remote control, that works. And then this would change the intensity, so we can make it a little bit brighter, a little bit darker on there, or turn it off entirely. So you do have the remote control power with this. You can adjust the intensity. You can turn it on or off. And if you're using one of the lights that is color temperature changeable, the one that has the dual LED colors, then you do have 2 banks that have a warming and cooling button on there, so you can adjust that. So that's pretty cool. All right, so you've got full control from the little remote. What else about it? It is internally thermally cooled without a fan. It's just got a lot of vents, so it's totally silent. You don't hear it. Okay, it's not even on, but let's do this. I'll turn it back on, and it's totally silent. Oh, I turned it off on the remote. Anyway, nothing. So that's great, right? Because if you're doing any kind of video production, the last thing you want is a fan that either is always on or, even worse, occasionally decides to kick on. You may hear on my live show, occasionally you might hear a fan go on in the background because my computer decides to kick on the fan, maybe the air conditioner decides to kick on. Fans that come and go while you're shooting, no bueno. So a light that does not have any fans in it, super awesome. So that is about it. That's about all there is to say about this thing. It's got all the features you want. It's got a really good brightness value. It has got a really impressive battery life, which again, I'm gonna let you watch APN TV's video on that. We'll link to that down below, and it's linked. And overall, I'm digging it. It is a nice, portable, lightweight, again, lightweight because it's plastic. One hand, I wish it was metal. On the other hand, I'm glad that it's plastic and so lightweight. Goes into a nice little bag, and away you go. So that, my friends, is that. If you decide that you like one of these things, you think you need one for your kit and caboodle, then scroll down below. There's an affiliate link down there. I'd appreciate you use that. Oh, one last thing I wanted to show you on here, almost forgot, is this. So if you look at the bottom of the unit, you got a 1/4-20 thread, but you have one on the side. And on the top, no, not on the top, but the other side. So you've got 3 sides. The bottom and the left and the right side have those. So you can mount it vertically or horizontally, landscape, if you wanted to. So I like it. Pretty good. All right, folks, that is that. If you want to get a light like this or anything else you see on the show, do me a favor, head over to PhotoJoseph.com/support. We run this show on something we call value for value. If you have gained value from the show, we appreciate you putting value back in. There's lots of different ways you can put value back into the show. One of them, of course, is to buy something that you have seen that you decide you want from my links. That's always helpful. But we also have, on the new PhotoJoseph.com site, the membership. It is a monthly or annual membership that gets you access to live training and a whole bunch of other stuff. That is all linked over there at PhotoJoseph.com/support, so you can check that out there. All right, that, my friends, is everything I want to tell you about this light. So let's jump into the Q&A. Let's see if there's any cues that you have that you want me to and I'll do my best to answer your questions. Greetings and welcome back to PhotoJoseph. For a moment, we are in the Q&A portion of the show. We just finished talking about the Aputure Amaran light. This was the HR672S light. Very nice, very impressive, very robust little light here. I'm digging it. I think filling up your studio with these would be a pretty good idea. And we're now in the Q&A portion of the show. So if you have any questions at all, whether they're related to this topic or not, feel free to throw them out. That is what we're doing here now. So let me just scroll back through the comments here and we'll see what we've got. A lot of people saying hello and good morning. Greetings to all of you. People talking about the heat and the temperature. You know, here in Oregon, in Southern Oregon, well, all of the Pacific Northwest, we have been inundated with smoke from the fires. It's been bad. It's been bad. So it's getting a little bit better today, but we have no idea where it's going to go from here. Let's see here. Oh, someone's saying the volume on the intro is very loud. That's interesting. That should not have changed, but I will look into that. Burns Texas needs to figure out a way to light your shop on the cheap and not garbage cheap. Working on golf carts and filming with just a drop light is hard. You know, Burns, you can get the shop lights that you buy at places like Ace or Home Depot or whatever. The big, huge shop lights, LED shop lights, they're pretty good and pretty affordable and very bright. You know, do a little custom white balance on there, you might actually get some pretty decent light. And then you could build some custom diffusion panels. I built, do I have one here? I think I've got one hiding back here. This is all part of my lynda.com DIY show. Here we go, I got one back here. I showed how to build these things. This isn't exactly rocket science here. Here we go. It's like the Wizard of Oz man behind the curtain thing. I built these a while ago, and if you go to my, in fact, here, let me do this. If you go to my, there we go, lynda.com DIY course. I have a whole thing on DIY photography in this at lynda.com, so if you go to photojoseph.com/DIY, it will take you there, it'll forward you along, where I talk about how to do all kinds of cool DIY stuff. This is one of them that is so useful. In fact, I have 3 big versions of this panel across here, diffusing all the light that's hitting me right now. This is window screen framing. So, you know, you've got like bug screens on your windows and you need to rebuild it. You can buy the window screen framing for cheap. It's just the frame and you cut it to the exact length that you want. So it comes with 4 bars, 4 corners. And this is just acetate. And this has been, you know, cut to size and then it's held on with double stick tape. And so you get a really nice diffusion panel. So if you had a big, huge shop light from Home Depot and you built one of those to put in front of it, you would get a really good soft diffused light out of it. So something to consider. Should be on the cheap. APN TV says, I've been using these for some time now. Talking about the lights here. Great little lamps, excellent color, maybe a little plasticky, but they do the job well. So you're agreeing. They feel plasticky. I wish it had a more solid sound and feel to it. But let's face it, at the end of the day, all that matters is that it works. And it being lightweight is definitely beneficial. Burns says, I'm finding for me using single color lights is more beneficial since I typically only use 53 to 5500 color temperature range. That matches my shop lights closer than tungsten color temp. There you go. So he brought that up because in the beginning of the show, we're talking about the different models of this light that you can get one that's bi-color, allows you to change the color temperature. Most any LED panel that is made up of dozens or hundreds of little LEDs like this, when you see one that is bi-color, it means simply that half the LEDs are one color temperature, the other half are the other color temperature, and you dial up the intensity on one and dial down the intensity on the other as you change color temperature. And so you don't have maximum light output unless all of them are on, which means you're in the middle of the color range. That is different to lights like my Felix lights. The Felix lights are maximum output all the way through because they're not, it's a single LED output that actually change. I don't know how this works, but it actually changes color. This is like, you know, advanced science stuff. This isn't a panel of inexpensive LEDs. It's a much different technology. But there you get the same output all the way through, but a lot more expensive on the lights. So, you know, if you need color temperature tunable, you might want to look into something like that. Otherwise, I say go with daylight and gel it if you want it to be a different color. APN-TV you use them with their softbox. Oh, okay, so they make their own softbox. Cool. So you can have a softbox attached to this. Yeah, if you bought a softbox for strobe photography, it'd be a little tricky to get this thing into there. So I guess that makes sense that they would make their own. All right, anything else going on in here in the comments? Here we go. Remember, if you have a question, you got a comment, stick it in here. Make sure you put @PhotoJoseph in front of it. That allows me to see it bright and clean and red on my screen, so I know that it's a question. APN-TV is, just for clarity, you don't have the remote control version. Okay, so he's talking about I linked down below, and we'll make sure this is in this video as well, but in the main video, a battery test that APN-TV has done with this light. He's clarifying that he does not have the remote control version, so slightly different model than this, but I would imagine that the battery duration will be pretty much the same. Excellent. All right, anything else in here? Anything else? Ooh, a couple at the bottom there. Jake, how's the color on the Amaran for skin tones? Would you recommend for lighting a subject or just a background set? Oh, I think it's very worthy of lighting a subject. I actually did, the one time that I used it in kind of a production, it was just me on camera, but did you see the video that I did about editing for IGTV? So it's the video that I shot in the hotel room in Chicago where I was, it was a beautiful day. I got a nice view out the foggy window. We see the city in the background. It was kind of a cool set, actually. I lit that with this. Trying to remember now how I did the lighting. Did I gel it? No, I don't think I did. I don't even remember now if I gelled it or not, because I was playing with color temperatures to make some things cooler and warmer. I don't remember exactly what I did, but I did light it with this. I think it looked great. That is the only person on set that I've used with it, so that was me, and I didn't look at it and think, why am I a funny color? No, I think the CRI of this, the color rendering index, is very, very high. It is a very good quality light. You can get all those specs if you go to their website, but I would say absolutely it's worthy of lighting people, and I believe that that is how APN-TV uses these lights as well. Burnstack, I have a few 4-foot LED shop lights that work awesome. There you go. I got a 4-pack on Amazon for 128 bucks. They're 4,000K. Okay, it feels so smooth on my eyes. I just need a bigger shop. Well, there you go. Look at that. A couple of 128 bucks for a 4-pack of big ol' LED shop lights. That's crazy. That is awesome. Sean Mark Nipper. Oh, so Sean has bought a DJI Ronin S. He has promised to bring it in here to do an unboxing once he gets it, but it is not yet in. That's okay. We don't have time for that right now anyway. Now, when it comes in, let me know. We'll squeeze in a show. Let's see here. Ooh, Trevor says, make sure you watch Tom Antos's gimbal shoot up before you buy that Ronin S. Oh, interesting. Well, there you go, Sean. You got some homework to do. You gotta check that out. Maybe you want to do that. Okay. All right, guys. Hey, that was fun. That was a quick little show. I, again, digging this light. Aputure, thank you for sending this out for me to do a look-see at. I definitely like it, and I think that I think it's a very worthy light. I've bought a lot of lights over the years. It's so funny. You can never have too many lights. It's one of those things where you think, I don't need more lights. Why would I? And then you buy them maybe because they're on sale. It's too good of a deal to pass up or whatever. And you go, oh, I know. I could put, like, so there's a light up here pointing just at the desk. So when I do top-down stuff, you can see that nicely. There is, well, this light was lighting the set, but I know you can probably barely see a little bit of a red. Where are we? See that little bit of red? That's because there is another light behind the curtain that is also red gelled, because just having this light on there, because of the angle, the fall off, it just didn't quite work. So it's like you can never have too many lights. I've got, let me think, in my set right now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and when this one is on, 11 lights lighting this set. You can put a couple of them, definitely. Lights are good. Okay, take care, everybody. We'll see you on Friday. Bye-bye.